Hello and welcome to the DayZ Zombie Survival Guide. This is the 9th episode of a 13-part series addressing everything from basic survival tips to advanced features of the Arma 2 game engine. And in this episode, I'll be covering pistols and shotguns. You're probably thinking to yourself, pistols and shotguns in an open world environment, well, how effective can they actually be? Well, say for instance your primary weapon is low on ammunition, then a pistol or a shotgun will be your next best bet. Perfect in close combat, or say simply that guy's on the other side of the corner and you need to take him out without switching to your primary and alerting him. Let's have a look at each of the firearms first. We're going to have a look at the actual revolver. The revolver has 6 rounds, it's quite a high power. Obviously the disadvantage is in the reload. The reload takes considerably longer than the other weapons, but you can tell with a 6-round magazine that it's going to do a bit of damage if you actually put it in the right place and you get it in the right hands and you take out them targets. Next up we have the Glock 17. The Glock 17 is a good all-round weapon, as a flashlight, so it's always handy to use at night. Obviously I don't recommend using the flashlight because you'll attract more attention than you want, but the most important thing about this weapon is it fires very flat, so you don't have to make much adjustment after each shot. Next up we have the PDW, or the Mini Uzi. The best thing about this weapon is it goes fully automatic. I know many panic shooters that'll just pull the trigger as soon as they see a contact. This is the weapon for you, because basically all you need to do is play and spray. Basically you're just playing the game and you're just spraying everything and everything will drop. Obviously the problem is with the iron sights, as you see there. Next up we have the M9. The M9 is one of my favourite weapons in DayZ, as it has a 15-round magazine, so it's easy to follow up shots. It seems very accurate, it follows the same sort of criteria as the Glock 17, but it doesn't just feel as effective as it. It feels like a weapon that you would carry on you, and it's going to be reliable, unlike some of the other weapons. Next up we have the M1911. The M1911 is mostly carried by newer players due to it's very common in the wasteland. Obviously you'll find it in military structures, you'll find it just in stores and normal houses, and it's got all the ammunition you could possibly desire with it. Obviously the limitations is it has a bit of kick and it's only got a 7-round magazine, so that's only one more than the revolver, but a positive is it will reload faster. Next up we have the Makarov Pm. Many players who started playing like I did right at the beginning of the DayZ will notice that this was the weapon they started with and they're rather familiar with it, but newer players now completely overlook this weapon. But this weapon is perfect for shooting zombies in the head as they come through a door, because the little recoil makes for perfect headshots. Next up we have the shotguns. First I'm going to cover the double barrel shotgun. Obviously you can probably make out for yourself now that the main issue with this weapon is that it's only got 2 slugs or 2 pellets, whatever you decide to put in it. So whatever happens, you're not going to deal with more than 2 players, and in some situations you'll find it hard to deal with one, because reloading will take longer than actually the time that it takes to find the target and shoot him. Obviously a further disadvantage with this weapon is that it has very limited on the iron sights front, and you'll find here that aiming this weapon at any longer ranges than 100 meters will cause you to be completely off target and not even know where you're hitting. Next up we have the Remington 870. This is one of my favourite shotguns. One of the disadvantages is it doesn't affect the weapon at all, but it actually has no pumping sound, so it sounds like just a semi-automatic rifle with a very slow rate of fire. If it had a pump action noise that I hope they add in the future, it'd be a lot more fun to use, but it is slightly the midway point between the double barrel and the full semi-automatic military shotgun that we're showing here. The M110 or 4 is a military shotgun. It's currently in service at the moment with the 2 priority armies that are in Iraq, so that's the British and the Americans. And basically what's really effective about the shotgun is it'll pull the trigger and put them shells down range as soon as you pull the trigger. So if I'm rapidly firing, I can keep putting them targets down, keep putting them targets down, keep putting them targets down. It's very easy to use, but obviously it's extremely rare. Let's talk about something a little bit different. Obviously you might not be thinking about this, but ammunition. When do you swap your ammunition? When do you swap to slugs, or when do you swap to pellets? Obviously pellets are a close range ammunition, as you can see here. The thing with pellets is you need to take into consideration you've got to get more than half of them pellets, so there's 10 in total, so you need to get over 6 to actually cause significant damage to your target. So if you think you're in a situation where you can't actually get more than 6 on target, then I recommend you swap. Another thing that's often debated is what happens if I load silenced ammunition into my weapon. Well, not that much happens. All that happens is a drop in velocity. It won't actually affect the damage, but it'll cause your weapon to lose a lot of range. So I recommend, when you can, keep to the normal ammunition. Hope you enjoyed the episode. There'll be more to come, and if you're still here, that means you must have liked it, so I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.